Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here again. Thank you again for everything, guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the 3x tournament. Big shout outs to Celestial and Bandit for showing up and helping out. As promised, before we get back to full regular, I don't want to call it programming, but you guys know what I'm saying. It's time for what I think is probably the best, or probably like one of the best decks that you could build using three copies of everything. So, like, you bought three of these boxes. What's the best build that you can make with midterm destruction? That's what we're going to show you today. So, I wanted to keep it rolling with heroes since they did so good. I felt like they could be the best theme. So, we're going to start with straight out of Neospace. So, we're going to do this like you guys don't already know how this skill works. So, let's start the duel. Flip this over. And once you do, if only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon one Neos from hand. Also, for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon except Hero and Neospacian cards. And specifically Elemental Heroes. So no Destiny, no Evil. During the end phase, if a fusion monster you control is returned to the extra deck, you may special summon one Neos from deck. So again, I did misplay this once during the tournament. It did not affect the outcome. Because, again, the matchup versus Arcana is just weird and apparently just doesn't work out well for the tarot cards. So, yeah, there's our skill card. Moving into the main deck, you have to play the title or character. You got to play 3 copies Elemental Hero Neos. Again, it's just about Neos maxing. And honestly, we're going to do so many things. We are going to streamline this one today. So, again, 3 Neos. He's good, 7-star, 2,500, basic Dark Magician-ish stats. I think he's lacking 100 points of defense to truly be there. But it is what it is. He's a great name. That's why we need him. Second, we're going to use Elemental Hero Prisma. Now, while in the box, was not part of the structure deck. So again, I was looking forward to getting to use this guy. Being like the original Crystal Warrior. Prisma's ability is very simple. Once per turn, while this card is face up on the field, you can reveal any fusion monster. And again, it could be any fusion monster in your extra deck. Any one of them. And those were all the ones that we got, except the one that we're using today. And what you'll do is you'll point to one of the names that's part of the recipe. And in this case, this deck, it's all going to be either one or more Neospacians and or Neos. You point to the name, you take one of those copies out of your deck, you throw it in the discard, and now Prisma name changes to being that card. So this means now we have access to Neos within these 6 cards, but we'll also have access to our Neospacian name within 6 cards. So that's good. And speaking of those 6 cards, we need to get those Neospacian Grand Moles. So again, Grand Mole's going to do some cool things. Number 1, his own effect. At the start of the damage step, if it battles an opponent's card, you can return both this and the opposing card to the owner's hands. Fantastic play. Again, this breaks apart fusion monsters. Later on, it'll like dissipate Synchro and Xyz and everything else. But for right now, it dissipates fusion. It doesn't. It's a 1-for-1 exchange that if we leave him face up, and again, during the tournament, you guys have saw this. I did not attack with Grand Mole, because if I attack with Grand Mole and lose him to Sakuretsu armor, my opponent can push through. But otherwise, they have to summon and try to push through Grand Mole. Grand Mole will bounce, and we're back to where we started. This, plus the fact that this equals my favorite Neos Fusion, is the reason why we're going to be playing this. So again, Prisma can become either of these 2 just by sending 1 copy out of my deck. Fantastic. So 9 monsters is our base. That's where we're going to be. Moving into the spells, we're going to use 2 copies of End Shuffle. And again, the way this works is you shuffle any one of these Elemental Heroes or Neospacians back into the deck, and if you do, special summon any one of the Elemental Heroes or Neospacians that has a different name than the one that you sent. So Grand Mole can actually become Neos, Neos can become Prisma, Prisma can just become Neos, Prisma can become Grand Mole, all without actually having to use Prisma's effect, which is good. Additionally, once this card's in the graveyard, you can banish it, shuffle back from the graveyard into the deck an Elemental Hero and a Neospacian, or an Elemental Hero Neos card. Afterward, draw 1 card. You can only use each effect once per turn. Fantastic. And again, this works out pretty well with Prisma because Prisma can throw something like the Grand Mole, become Grand Mole, tag out. There could be another card that's already in the discard pile. Um, and this will allow End Shuffle to just immediately go and do its thing. So good stuff. Good stuff. Moving on. Again, I expect the ban list to hit this. MST. Honestly, this is way better. Like, even if I had Galaxy Cyclone, even if I had, we have Galaxy Cyclone. What did I say? Cosmic Cyclone. Even if we had that, even if we had Night Beam, I would be playing MSTs over that. That is going to be standard for me right up until the limit list comes into play. Should be about a month or so from now. And we'll see something happen with this card. You won't be able to run this at 3 anymore. But until then, do it. 2 copies Oversoul. The way Oversoul works is you target an elemental hero that is a normal monster in the graveyard. You special summon said target. Another amazing play that this deck just synergizes with is Prisma becomes Neos to special summon the Neos that you just threw in the graveyard. It's stupid simple. And then you've got a 1700 and a 2500. And I'll show you guys more big plays with this later on down the road. Heroes are probably one of the most versatile types. And they will probably see so much play in Speed Duel moving forward because they just keep getting more and more of their tech stuff. And as they do, they just keep getting better. Moving into traps. We're going to play 5 traps to round this up to 20. First one, we're going to play Hero Blast. This is, again, a Prisma Neos play. So you, again, target an elemental hero that is a normal monster in the graveyard. Add target to hand. Then if the opponent controls any monsters with attack less than or equal to the monster's original attack, or the monster's attack is, again, it wouldn't be modified, it's in the hand now, destroy them. So what happens is I can, I'm playing up against Dark Magician. Somebody's Yu-Gi-Motoing all over the field. It's my move. D-Mage is standing there, and I got to figure out how to get through it. So I go Prisma, do the whole Neos. Then I'll activate my Hero Blast from the back row to put Neos into my hand, and I'll destroy Dark Magician during the exchange. So again, like, there's plays that you get to do. It's goofy, it's fun. 2 copies, Paleozoic Canadia. Again, good card, great card. This is going to be half of a Book of Moon. You get to target a face-up monster, but it has to be one that the opponent controls. Change that to face-down defense position. That's the Book of Moonish effect. The rest of this is once per chain. You can activate one of these Paleozoic effects in the graveyard. If a normal trap card is activated, it becomes an Aqua Water 2-star 1200 by like nothing. I want to say it's a normal monster card, which is weird because it kind of has an effect. It gains a benefit. It's no longer considered to be a trap. So as far as trap monster decks go, this one gets a little weird because it's not going to be considered a trap, which is good because like MST, Cosmic Cyclone, those things don't really affect it then. If summoned this way, this card would then be unaffected by monster effects and banishes when it leaves the field. So again, it's kind of a weird caveat. It's like Gemini monsters having an effect and not being considered an effect monster unless they're in the deck, the hand, or they've been normal summoned the second time on the field. So again, kind of weird, but it is what it is. And then last up, 2 Sakuretsu Armor. Again, this is kind of like a no-brainer. If you have a trap that is a simple 1-for-1 when the opponent attacks, you're going to play it. It's going to be good. And again, I don't know that you would be playing Widespread Ruin at this point because Sakuretsu is very more... It's very transactional. It's not like I got to figure out how to make it happen. No, that guy attacked. I don't want him around anymore. Activate and resolve. So again, that's the main deck. A lot of the like these 2 are like the big no-brainer choices. Probably would go into every build that I would make. And yeah. So this is the main deck. Go ahead, screenshot, pause, make some notes. I'll be right back with side and extra because, I was feeling special. And I'll be right back with that here in just a second. All right, starting with the side deck. A really weird choice here. We're going to talk Fossil Dyna Pachycephalo. Okay, what is this card's deal? It's great. It's great anti-meta. And is like just built for side decks. So if this card gets flipped face up, flipped could be by an attack, it could be a flip summon, it could be a spell trap effect. Destroy all special summon monster cards on the field. Yikes. Follow that up with a static ability that while this is face up, neither player can special summon monsters. And you have entered the grind game. This deck is capable of entering the grind game, and it is because certain cards are just as tough as they are. But it is not meant to be there forever. You are meant to try to tribute your way into a Neos at some point to get yourself out of that space, or your opponent is going to prioritize the Pachycephalo for destruction. So generally, it's a good disruptor. And again, it's the best we had in the box. Third MST's in here. I keep a second Hero Blast on me. Third Sakuretsu's in here. Third Canadia's in here. And again, it just comes down to this is really good. This is pretty all right. These are pretty amazing. And the choices are pretty easy to make. The extra deck is 3 cards. We are just going to be playing copies of Grand Neos because, again, I didn't sneak any other Fusion Catalysts in before anybody asks. Brave Neos does need a Catalyst. But he's actually pretty generic, so he's also really cool about stuff. But we are going to be playing just Grand Neos today. So that's Neos plus Mole. Must be first special summoned by the extra deck by shuffling the top card, the above cards that you control into the deck. Again, Prisma is going to do a name change. He's totally going to help you guys out with this. Once per turn, you can target a monster that your opponent controls. Doesn't have to be face up. Return that target to the hand. Once per turn during the end phase, return this to the extra deck. And again, once he returns to the extra deck, it's fine. We're using straight out of Neos base. We're going to get straight back into Neos. We're going to retain that 2,500 point card. We're just not going to retain the effect. But again, when you're dealing with, what was it again? 3 Prismas and 3 Grand Moles. There's 6 options in a 20 card deck. Each card is 5% of the deck. 6 and 5 is 30% of your deck. 1/3 of your deck, roughly, is ways to play this guy in an endless loop once you get it going the first time. And that's if your deck was at max cards. Obviously, ratios and everything, percentages increase as the number of cards stays 6 in the main deck. But then, changes in the, you know what I'm saying. I'm explaining it poorly, but when deck size gets lower, but the amount of cards in it that you're looking for stay the same, it's a larger percentage. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this. Yes, I could probably do this with every deck in the box. I'm not going to. This is what I consider to be my best deck within the box. So hopefully you guys liked it. I want to get back to work on doing all the updates. I want to use all the other skills that were in this set because I've still got, oh geez, what was it? All of these skills we haven't even looked at yet. I want to go ahead and get some requests knocked down because I've got some requests. Somebody wants to see Moki Moki. I want to see Moki Moki now. We're going to do it. So you guys have an excellent day. And do the things or don't. That's your decision. It's always your decision. I hope you make one decision. I hope you go out and have a great day and do something for yourself. Focus on some mental health today. But I hope to see you guys again on the next video. So till then, my friends, you have a good one. See you later.